Welcome back to the Centerway Society. To the uninitiated, this is a show where we discuss, deliberate, and dissect the theories behind some of the world's most beloved movies. No film too obscure, no epic too large. We, the initiated, will watch and then bring to you what may or may not be the secrets behind the lens. Let's introduce the initiated. In the left corner, you know him, you love him. Let's give it up for Dustin.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? I gotta drop the voice. It's really hard to do that.
Yes, yes, brother Jordan.
Yes, yes. In the right corner, he's the man. He has all the collectibles. Let's give it up for James.
Hello, hello to all my fans in Bangladesh.
It's an old Fire Bear reference.
Oh my god!
I don't know if anybody would get that.
There's no more corners left because that's kind of how boxing works.
The
so
northwest
let's just
corner.
Go ahead in northwest corner. There we go. Let's go ahead. Rob, come on out, buddy.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, I'm proud of you. I'm so
Nice.
proud of you.
I've been sitting on that all day.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Well, number 3 was okay,
So-
but I thought number 4 was horrible. But number 2,
Take my hand,
Oh
take my
my
straw
God.
hand.
that was a good one.
All right, so if you guys couldn't guess what theme is tonight with the fan theories or theories of the franchise we're doing, Rob kind of said it best with his little intro line there. We're doing the Scream franchise, excluding the TV series. Excluding the TV series. Let's see. James has only ever seen Scream 1. That's right? Scream 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Dustin's seen them all, but somehow says he's not the best with it. Doesn't make sense to me. No, I'm calling you
I've
guys
watched
out
it in passing.
because you guys had time to watch these. And then Rob, a man who does not like horror movies, slasher movies, any type of scary thing in the world.
I really don't.
He committed this week and watched Scream 1 through 4 in his free time. I'm proud of him.
Lack of free time.
I am proud
Such
of
a
him.
fucking trooper, man.
Rob really hates scary movies or slashers or horrors, which really, besides the slashing, Scream doesn't fit really any of those.
That's true.
It doesn't. It's a different type of horror.
It was kind of campy at times.
It's 100%.
I enjoyed those parts. It was the there's just something about it that shoots my anxiety levels way up. That I can't stand it. I don't need to feel that way. If I don't have to feel that way, it's why I have a tendency to lean more towards comedies or superhero movies, or
Which is probably why this worked for you, because it's kind of like a comedy slasher to some degree.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Yep.
Is it a little bit too real, like living out in Gloucester and being afraid that somebody's going to call you and be standing outside or something, and you know the cops are not going to get there in 5 minutes?
Okay,
hold
more
on,
scared
hold on.
of getting mistaken for a deer in the woods.
Yeah.
These movies take place in the 90s. It's 2023. We all have caller ID. If I don't know the number, I'm not picking up.
And truthfully, if I know who's calling me, there's like a 70% chance I'm still not answering.
Yeah.
Just text me. All right.
A
Text
little
me a
anecdotal
Facebook
thing.
message.
I don't get scared during scary movies, but I watched that movie The Ritual on Netflix. If anybody here knows what I'm talking about, right?
Fantastic movie.
Okay. I was living out in Sedley, and it's really rural and everything, and I walked outside and I'm smoking a cigarette and a deer popped up like maybe 15 feet away from me. I've lost my shit.
See, this is how different it is for us here in Gloucester, Dustin. I live in the woods on 5 acres. We literally, down my road, all of us here, we have a pet deer named Harold, and he'll literally come to your house. You can pet him. He'll come straight up to you. You can give him apples and strawberries and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's starting to turn into a buck now, but so I really hope he doesn't get shot.
Cool.
But he's apparently been around here for a few years now. So when we moved in, we were telling him, "Oh yeah, we have." Originally, we named him Reggie, and then the neighbor's like, "Oh no, that's Harold. He's actually like the Beaver Drive deer."
Oh, like everybody
cool.
gave him their own personal family name or something?
Right? Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
My mom's neighborhood in Pocosin, there used to be a peacock. Everyone had decided that his name was Fred.
Should have been Peter.
Nah, Fred, bro.
Anyway, we are way off topic and we are rambling.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. That's why people don't love us. So anyway, without further ado, one of the first theories when I was researching the interwebs about the Scream franchise was a lot of people believe, because it was never confirmed, but a lot of people believe that Jill survives from Scream 4. So my question to that would be, 1, do you believe she survived? And 2, where is she now?
Well, Rob, you just watched this series. What do you think?
Well, I just finished 4 about 7 hours ago, 6 or 7 hours ago.
So it's fresh.
It's pretty fresh, and it's still kind of messing with my head, but that's besides the point. That was probably the one movie where I was not able to predict who the killers were, and honestly, that threw me through a loop when it came out to be Jill. Is she alive?
Doesn't she get shot in the head?
She got shot in the gut.
She gets electroshocked to the head though.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
But she pops up at the end.
Does that kill somebody?
No, she popped up afterwards. Like, because like the whole point of like every single one of these killers in all the movies so far that I've seen, at least 1 through 4, is after they are dead, they pop up for another and then they get shot in the head.
Right, and then they make the whole comment, they're always like right behind you.
Yeah,
or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the exact comment, is like they're right behind you, and then at least in 3, Sydney shot Roman in 3.
Yeah.
And for those who, spoiler warning if you haven't seen it, but that also came out in like 2000, so why didn't you see it, I guess?
Yeah, you've had 23 years.
You've had 23 years. You've had your time. I can't see how. I mean, maybe she lived and she went to jail. Maybe she escaped, and now, like, especially with the new series of Scream that has come out, I haven't watched the 5th one yet. That's now on my list of things to do, just because I've seen 1 through 4.
You're invested now.
I'm invested now. I have to watch it.
Yeah.
So, so I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't think she is, but it's also a horror movie. So,
Hey,
yeah,
Rob,
probably.
real quick, behind your right shoulder in that hallway, what is that?
That's probably my son.
I don't think so. You can
Don't turn
see
around,
his
Rob.
anxiety.
Don't turn around.
Those are pictures. In my
I'm just
hallway.
fucking with you. You could literally see the anxiety hit on him. The mask.
Yeah.
Why
He's
do I
like,
do
they
this
wouldn't
show
mess
again?
around about this. Yeah.
Because you love us.
We're never doing another horror.
Dustin, what do you think, man? Do you think she survived?
Okay, so I think it would break the mold a little bit because so far we haven't had a killer return as far as I'm remembering at this very moment, right?
Officially, no.
Right. So that would break a mold. But I think if we've learned anything about Scream, it's that if you don't see somebody die, that doesn't mean they're dead. You know, we never got like a legit confirmation. That person is dead. They're not coming back.
Yep.
It's possible at that point. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's a for sure thing, but I don't think it's off the table.
I'm
That's
with
my
you
personal
on
thing.
that. Like, I 100% believe that. I think she survived because it, like, what happened to her wasn't that bad. Think about what happened to fucking Sydney, man. The same.
Think
movie.
about what happened to Dewey.
Dewey-
Like in
well, we're not even
previous
getting
movies.
into Dewey.
Like,
In the same movie, like Sydney should be dead. She should have died in Scream 4 and doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, she got the shit kicked out of her.
right.
But
Yeah,
Jill, Jill still got it pretty bad. Like, I would like to think that they put her on like a psychiatric ward or something like that, and then but she doesn't really need it type of thing, and she's eventually going to break out. Like, I think that would be a cool plot if they could pull it off. But it also, I don't know how they're doing like the storyline for it either, though. Did this one? That movie came out in like 2011, I think, and Scream 5 came out in a decade later, or
Right.
11 years later, I think. So like, was it 11 years later from when that happened? Is she almost at a point to where she's on good behavior to be released or something?
And this is also, the Scream series is really just a commentary on slasher films too. And the one thing they haven't done is the return killer.
They have.
You know?
It's the one
That's
thing
true.
they were supposed to do by now.
Yeah.
James,
I
what do
could
you
definitely
think,
see
man?
that happening.
Called you out.
Yeah, so I believe that she is alive because she's a tough bitch, and she's a strong, independent woman.
That's the intro of the show.
Love it.
To be honest, I'm really here just got to hear these because I know Stu Macher, so I'm ready. Be honest with y'all, like I know a few theories. So
He was Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
yeah, he was Shaggy.
I remember that.
Like
remember
Zoinks,
Shaggy.
man. So
That was actually pretty good. Like Scoob.
but no, like my
I
sister,
wish I had a dog like Scooby Doo.
my sister's
do.
more of a Scream person than I am, so she was rattling some of these
Let's
series.
get her
you
on
get-
the episode then.
yeah, for real though.
Yeah.
I tried to, but she's like off at
James is
club.
tagging his sister in.
Yeah. That would
Well, since James went ahead and went ahead a script there, we'll go into it. Stu Macher.
I know him.
So backstory of this, I know him.
I know that reference.
Backstory of it is
I know that guy.
The original script from Scream 3 that was cut was going to have Stu come back and be a killer again. If memory serves me correctly, it was supposed to be about like school shooting type stuff or something similar to it.
Then call him.
And then Columbine happened, so they
Yeah.
completely gutted the script and got rid of it. So unofficially, he was supposed to come back. He was going to be alive. That script confirmed he was alive. It has now since, been cut. That's not the story, so technically it's not canon. But he's never also been confirmed dead.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like I've only seen Scream 1, but Stu is actually one of my favorite characters in that movie. He had me laughing especially when the guy's explaining the rules and it's like, "I'll be back," He's just
He's the only one that says the title of the movie.
he's
It's
legitimately,
gonna be a scream.
he's like legitimately always like sitting there messing with everybody, and it just cracks me up. Like I hate bullies in real life, but sometimes bullies in movies are funnier than the rest of them. So
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah.
90s bullies were a different breed.
That's true.
Like, they fucked with you, but then there's, like, that episode, or, like, the after-school special episode, and they're like, hey, man, I know I'm rough on you, but it's just because I believe in you. And you're like, oh. And then the next episode, they, like,
Thanks,
they pull
AC
your fucking,
Slater.
they pull your fucking boxers up and wedge your ass while they fucking are shoving your head down the toilet and, fucking flushing. And it's like, but the last episode, you were so nice.
But then it cuts to, the at-home situation. The dad's like a
Beating
jerk
the shit
and
out
stuff.
of them,
and-
the alcoholic,
Yeah. Yeah. They really just have a tough life. The
So-
poor bullies in 90s
I know.
movies.
How dare they?
Yeah.
Rob, what do you think, man? You've gotten to know Stu Macher this week.
I mean, he was bleeding out, and then he had a TV dropped on his head, and he was electrocuted. I mean,
And let's not forget, he was the original Scream 3 killer.
Yeah. But
So-
that was a
so-
CRT,
Yeah, but then they
man.
got rid of the
Those
script.
things are fucking
Yeah,
heavy.
But yes, they got rid of the script, and I'll always understand and agree with that. But there was intention and a script that was written to bring him back before a national tragedy happened.
that's
You know what
true.
I mean? So it's like you can't just take it back and be like,
I'm-
never mind.
I know what happened to him though, guys.
Obviously, they did. I mean, I think it's possible that they could bring him in at some point. What he's been doing all this time, I mean, that would be very captivating and interesting. If they
Well-
brought him in for Scream 6, or maybe
Well, that's another theory out there. Is he
that
the
he's-
Scream? Because like, if you've seen anything, I don't know how much you guys have seen of the trailers, but it's like this Ghostface or killer or whatever you want to call them. They have like collectibles from the previous movies. So there's like an older vintage mask, probably from 1 or 2, that they're wearing in one scene, and then there's a scene where it pans into a room, and there's like all these Ghostface costumes that are just like stood up, and it had like Billy Loomis, and it had like different names on them from who wore them. So like this new one is going to be way different. But if it could be someone that is a legacy character that should have been in Scream 3 that's coming back now. It's going to be the first movie without Neve Campbell.
I mean, I certainly think it's possible,
Yeah.
right?
I would love for it to happen. One, I just love... I can't think of his name right now. What's the guy that plays Tumacher? It's Shaggy. What's his name?
Matthew Lillard. He's going to be at
Matthew
Pensacon
Lillard.
this year.
I just love him first in everything he does. Honestly, the best thing I ever saw him in was 13 Ghosts. Great movie. Rob,
Really?
you could never watch it.
Oh man, I did love that one.
It was. I
What
thought it
about
was a good
Without a
movie.
Paddle? That was
Oh
fun.
yeah. Do you really
yeah.
wanna hurt me?
I'm joking. Yeah.
No, but everything he's ever done, and then like the backlash that happened when like they did the new Scooby Doo series, and it's like they didn't even let him know he was being replaced as Shaggy. How sad that was for him, and everybody got like legitimately upset for him. Yep. So I mean, everything Matthew Lillard has ever touched really has been good, and I like him on a personal level versus like some of the characters he's represented. But I would love for Stu Macher to make a comeback. I think that's what would like it would set a new tone to the series, and we're not in the remake, we're in the reboot phase of this with like essentially a new trilogy, and it's time for them to shake it up.
Right. And the Scream series really is more, I mean, I keep on saying it, but it's more of a commentary series more than anything. So now that we're in that reboot phase, bringing back the originals, it's kind of like what you do, right?
Yeah,
You don't fuck with the originals.
Yeah, you don't fuck with the originals, but
To quote,
at the same time,
4.
yeah. But at the same time, like, dude, we can't see another a disappointing thing right now is we can't talk anything really about Scream 5 that releases details to Rob because there's important stuff in there. But man,
Yeah.
you know, I was gonna put it down as one of my theories that had to involve Dewey, and I'm like, I can't even talk about any of the stuff that happens in that movie because Rob has to watch it. I can't just bring it up.
Jenna
that's a
Ortega's
big
in the
one.
next, or in the 5.
She
and
was in
6,
5.
right?
She'll be in 6. Yep.
So
Yeah.
technically, if Stu comes back, you could get this weird type thing where it would be Shaggy trying to kill Wednesday Addams.
Oh, cross universe.
Dude, I'm just saying the new Scooby Doo
Yeah.
movies, they had Scooby Doo meets the Addams family. Why not?
To be fair, they also did Supernatural and Scooby Doo at the same time as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good
So
episode.
I took about 2 minutes there, and I watched the trailer for Scream 6, and that's intense.
doesn't it look awesome?
It looks so good.
I think I made Rob a Scream fan this week.
This is amazing.
Oh no, I'm not a Scream fan. After I watch it for the first time, I'm never watching it again.
But doesn't it
like
look
I
good?
said, I don't. It does look very good. It does look very compelling, and it looks like it could be a very good movie.
Yeah, and
See, that's the thing. It looks like seeing it in that trailer
terrified
was
you.
like terrified me. This is just like kind of like grabbed at me and pulled me in and made me like, where's this going?
Scream's
it
a
made
different
me
type of.
curious.
It's a different type of genre, man. It
Like,
really
it-
is.
No interest in seeing it because I don't care where it goes. I have no interest in going. I don't want to follow that direction. But just watching that trailer, that pulled me in. That made me interested. So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have nightmares tonight.
So
and I
That's
blame
okay.
all of you.
So-
Look, we'll go to the
Sorry, what were we talking about? Sorry.
We'll go to the society
Stu
on March
being
10th together, and we'll watch it, and I'll hug you during, so you'll be comfortable.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
We'll all like hold hands,
Yeah.
like across the aisle, just
With
I
hoods
don't
on
like
and
this,
stuff.
I don't like this.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I wish there wasn't such like a bad thing against like wearing like costumes to movies.
No,
'cause I
I'm
would
not saying
100%
dress as
rock
the killers. I'm
Ghostface.
saying y'all could dress like
Oh,
the
I would
hoods
rock-
as like the secret
I would
society.
rock-
I
I would rock the Ghostface robe and mask so hard going to that movie.
I would punch
Yeah,
you in
that's-
the balls. No.
There's nothing scary about the Ghostface outfit.
I mean, I had that mask when I was a kid, even though I had never seen Scream.
Dude, I had
Just
the
like,
one.
I
I had
thought
the
it was
one
cool.
where it was like they connected it to a heart with the fake blood, and you pumped it, and then blood went through the mask. I loved that
I
mask.
had the one that glue in the
oh
dark.
damn.
Glue,
That's a good
if
one.
that's a word.
Oh man. So getting
Sorry,
on to
what were we
some.
talking about?
Is Stu Macher alive? Did you already comment on that? I don't think you commented on this.
Me?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised. Although I think our next theory is more
Outlandish.
I a little more outlandish, but also one I could definitely see happening.
I would love to see it happen, but I honestly, this one, I've seen it circulate before. However, I think it's probably the dumbest theory in the world.
It's unlikely.
Oh yeah. So
What?
the next. Oh, so sorry, Dustin. We were trying to get into it and work into it. But did Randy fake his death in Scream 2 and is now the mastermind behind Scream 6? Because I'm sure Rob just saw the trailer. There is like the collectibles. There's the
That's
scene of the
probably, like, the most
collectibles,
intense part.
and it's like, who? Of
I don't
this-
buy it.
who- oh no, I don't buy it at all either. But who of the original like cast would be the person to collect these things? And the only thing that really came to my mind at that time was like, dude, Randy. He's obsessed with everything on this stuff.
That's true. He's the one who knows the rules
But
or the rules of
He's,
Yeah.
but like I said, this was a theory I saw online. He's fucking dead. I'm sorry. Debbie Salt, Nancy Loomis, Miss Loomis, whatever you want to call her, Billy's mom, she fucking
Yeah.
gutted the shit out of him
Oh yeah.
in that
Right.
van. Like, that was one of the most aggressive deaths I've ever seen on camera in the Scream franchise.
I can buy the still being alive thing. Like, it proves the point of you have to confirm the kill
Right.
in these movies. But like, Randy was just laying there covered in blood, like motionless. Like,
Oh, dude.
they spent some time
They
on it.
see
Like,
him. His sister
Yeah.
comes in Scream 3 for him to be like, by the way, there's one more tape for him to be like, yo, it's the completion of a trilogy. There's different
Right.
rules. Main characters can die. That's
What?
you said.
How does he just know that he needs to make a video about a trilogy?
Because he was a crazed movie store clerk
Which makes it
who loves horror. It makes it seem like he could
slightly
do
more
it.
believable that he could.
Dude, there's no fucking way.
I know there's no way, but if anyone of any of the original cast that could come back and be like this, almost like being able to teach a master class on what it is to be the Ghostface killer, or whatever you wanted, the Westboro killer, or whatever or Woodsboro. I'm sorry. It would be
Westboro
Randy.
Baptist murders.
Well,
oh god,
let's not get into that. I could see Randy doing something like this.
what would be the
but
point
it's-
though?
What would be the point? I have no idea.
Right? Like he was the writer's like meta commentary on
Yeah.
horror films in the first film and in the early, second film, but like what does he get out of it? Right? Is he just copying what Billy did and he wants
He's not a fan of
to
Jenny Ortega. That's the problem.
No, man, he's rewriting. He is the writer now. You know what I mean? And like I
mean,
said,
I
I'm not.
guess.
I'm just
Director.
at that point. I'm just playing devil's advocate because I 100%. He's dead. There's no way he survived.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
He was gutted.
I hate being such a naysayer on a theory, but like I don't buy that one at all.
Yeah, I was trying to be more open to theories because I was pretty indignant last week.
So, another theory that I came across when looking through this stuff is a lot of people think because Neve Campbell is not returning for Scream 6. And the only legacy character that's confirmed right now would be Courtney Cox's Gale Weathers. And a lot of people seem to think, because the legacy character's getting up there in age. And Gale Weathers really shouldn't have survived most of these movies, truthfully. If you think about it, she really shouldn't be alive at this point. But does Gale Weathers die in Scream 6? That's a theory going around that she's going to be the one to finally bite it.
Man, have they said what happened to Sydney? Just out of curiosity.
I have a feeling that they're going to make a little comment about oh, Sydney's, she's in California or something like that type of thing.
She joined a convent because
she deserves to have some peace and quiet.
To be right.
Yeah.
But officially, Neve Campbell, I understand why she didn't return. It was apparently a money issue. They were trying to not really do anything for the older characters who literally made this a franchise and stuff. So I get her point of not returning because the money wasn't there. But could it also just be that she's not returning for this movie because she needs to be in Scream 7 for the final resolution?
Oh, man. That's true. Shit. Man,
you think there will actually be a final resolution?
Or they just keep it going forever?
I mean,
this is
I thought it would be
second
over
trilogy.
after 3, but now there's going to be 6. So
if they're making money, you don't stop, man. You just keep making them, right?
MCU proves that, right?
Well, I mean, how many Friday the 13th are we on?
Oh, too many.
22, I
Halloween
think.
movies. Jason films, Freddy films, yeah.
I will say
Michael Myers keeps on coming back.
They made Jason in space.
that was
did.
funny. That's probably my favorite one because of how
most
stupid
garbage
it is.
movie.
That's the exact reason it's my
They can make
favorite
Scream
one.
in space.
They could not make Scream in space. Look,
Yeah,
the big sell on Scream 6 is that it's Scream in New York.
I was watching the
it.
trailer, and that bodega owner with the shotgun, I was like, oh my god, he's going to take out... That's why you don't go to New York, because, just bodega owners are going to knock you out.
Trying to off you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't work out for him, though. That's sad.
So, what do you guys think? Realistically, Gale Weathers. This is Gale fucking Weathers. She wrote the book on it.
I think she kind of needs to go.
Do you really?
If there's going to be a final resolution in the 7th movie, and they're going to if they're able to bring back Neve Campbell something needs to shock her back.
That's what I hope. I hope they bring her back.
Gale dying would bring Sydney back into the fold for the final resolution, but then there will be Scream 8, and then there'll be another resolution, then there will be Scream 9, and then we'll have 3 trilogies.
Then Scream in space.
And then Scream in space.
Yeah,
so,
it'll be Scream
where
X.
Noah can hear you scream.
Yep.
So
I think you just wrote it for him, Rob. do the Star Wars triple trilogy and then go in space.
Rob, you need to insert
I'll be
a mind
expecting my
blow.
residual check.
Here's in a perfect world what I hope happens.
Okay.
I hope in Scream 6 Gale dies. I hope she does. One,
Dang.
dude, they're getting old, man. At some point they gotta fucking go. You gotta give it up to the new kids, which is why they're trying to build it with the ones that survived from 5. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Yeah, I'll let you go.
Spoilers, bro.
Here's what I want. Gale dies. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this. I want the killer to live in this movie. And then it's a hunt.
What?
And then it's a hunt in Scream 7. And that's what brings Sydney back. Because think about that.
That'd be cool.
Why would Sydney come back if Gale dies, but then the killer's killed too?
That would be cool.
There'd be no reason.
All right. Yeah, I could see that.
Well, okay, so I'm personally a big fan of the aged out character getting one last hurrah,
Sure.
They've been doing not exactly the Taken series, but what we saw with Terminator and stuff. I dig that personally. Somebody in their 60s and they're just still a badass and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think if they were going to keep her alive, and we lost Sydney, in this film, and she possibly might not be coming back, they could try and retcon the series or reframe the narrative of the Scream series to be like she was the last girl the whole time. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that she's
been there too.
She's the finals girl,
Final girl.
dude.
Yeah.
But that, how can you do that? Because the whole point
I
of
don't
it,
fucking
the
know.
whole point of it was Maureen Prescott, and then to start fucking with Sydney. But like, she's the final girl.
But she's
supposed
not
to-
in the
she's
series
I
anymore.
know, but she's
Who's
supposed-
still there?
She's supposed
It's Gail-
to be the final girl.
Gail Weathers.
Not to mention Courtney Cox is 58 fucking years old.
Is
Yeah.
she really?
She's 58, Rob.
And she's still not that bad looking. I will
No.
say I was not that big of a fan of her, like the way she looked in Friends. But I saw her in Scream,
Dude, you should
and I
see-
was like,
you should
"Dang!"
see her haircut. No. You should see her haircut in Scream 3. Just Google image it real quick.
With the bangs?
Oh my god,
Yeah, man.
it's rough.
Yeah, but I would make an argument for that. I mean, I'm not saying that's exactly my ideal situation for the series, but I think they could do it.
Look, dude.
I
did
think
you
she
just see
could
James
play more.
react to that. He fucking jumped
What?
back. He saw the picture. Of
Oh, the hairdo. Yeah.
What the?
yeah. I don't know what they were thinking when they made that movie.
She looked like she got a picture frame for hair.
It's the weirdest haircut. I don't know. Like, I know it was the 2000. It was 2000. It was a different time, and they were trying to do trends and stuff, and we were supposed to die from Y2K. But like, goddamn, they fucking massacred her hair. Oh my god. Oh,
That's gonna
Yeah.
be my next
So
theory.
good.
What did they do to? Did the killer cut her hair?
That's going to be James' next episode.
did the killer cut Courtney Cox's
We
hair
need
for
to
Scream
talk about
3?
Courtney Cox's hair in Scream 3.
I could do a whole podcast on it, probably.
Did the sword? Did the sword of
Gryffindor
Gryffindor appear to Sydney Prescott?
Sydney Prescott is a true Griffin.
She's at Hogwarts right now. That's why she's missing from Scream 6. She finally got her letter.
Oh my lungs. My lungs. Oh my god. So,
Sydney
so
Prescott,
I
no
have.
Chamber of Secrets.
Oh,
I hate all of you.
oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
I really wish you would have said Roman Bridges in the Chamber of Secrets. Oh my god.
Oh,
that would-
man.
Oh.
Anyways.
All right. Anyway. Oh my god. So
Take two.
I have personally me. Dustin, I know you saw a couple of things, so
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to bring them in. But here's my last theory, and this is something that I brought up to the guys today, and
Yeah.
we discussed it beforehand, and it's something that I've thought about for many, many years, being a lover of both of these films. In Scream 2, there's a character, and officially she's listed as sorority sister Lois.
Oh, yeah.
However, the same actress, I believe her name is was it Rebecca? Oh man, it's like Rebecca Gayweather. Is that what I'm thinking of?
I'm trying to look right now.
Sorry,
I have IMDb
Rebecca
up.
Gayheart. Rebecca Gayheart.
Okay.
I was thinking of Gail Weather. That's why. Rebecca Gayheart. She is the actress that played the role of the sorority sister in Scream 2. And they made it seem, apparently there's a deleted scene where there's some like tension between the sorority girls, and they try to make it seem like she's kind of like an oddball in it.
Uh-huh.
But she's not the killer. She doesn't get killed. She just lives. And you really see nothing else happen with her character. There's another movie, which Dustin watched today, and he has his opinions
I
about
love
it.
this theory.
It's such a good movie. It's called Urban Legend, where Rebecca Gayheart plays Brenda. Now, my theory, and I'll paint a picture for you guys. Scream 2 was released in 1997. Urban Legend was released in 1998. While Scream 2 was released in 97, it's based upon 1998. I think, because Brenda, Rebecca Gayheart's character in Urban Legend, is the killer, I think that the sorority sister in Scream 2 saw what happened on campus. She was not a part of it, but was, a victim of, had friends and stuff that were massacred on the college campus. I think she changes her name skips town, goes to another college to forget all of this. But I think that during the murders and all this stuff happening, it unlocks like the psycho in her, and she creates this alter ego, which is Brenda. And then she goes and the character from Scream 2 goes over to Urban Legend and then becomes Brenda in Urban Legend, who instead of doing it with a knife, she uses an axe. But she's on a college campus. She kills college kids in Urban Legend. And then, at the end, you think she's dead. Fuck no, she's not. She goes to another college campus to tell the story of essentially what happened at the one she just murdered kids at.
Damn. Okay, so I actually thought it was backwards. I thought this was her hiding out, realizing what was going on, and getting the fuck out of Dodge before she got killed.
So you think that I was talking about like Brenda is like the killer and then she leaves and then becomes like the sorority sister.
Right, because to paint the picture for everybody in here that did not watch it and people that are listening to this and didn't watch it, yeah, she was the killer all along. It's like revealed at the end. She's getting revenge because like something happened with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. They shoot her, but when you think she's dead, they're driving away. She's in the back of the vehicle. Then tries to attack him with a hatchet, correct?
It's the axe, yeah.
The axe, whatever. They hit the brakes. She goes flying out the front windshield and then goes into the lake. And they're like, and nobody knows what happened to her. And she's just on a college campus, like correcting them because they told the story wrong, like under a different identity.
Yep.
It is the perfect theory. It's so cool.
Yeah.
That she just ends up in another horror film.
Essentially, yeah.
In the midst of all this.
Yeah.
I love this theory. Like, I don't know how this is not a bigger thing, honestly. Is it just because nobody gives a shit about Urban Legend? Like,
probably because,
Yes.
like I said, it was not a great movie.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it's a great movie because of when I saw it. I was younger, and I was like, dude, this is dope. There's a goth chick that was just getting rammed, and now she's murdered, and it's hilarious.
She's listening to Rob Zombie,
She's
stabbing
Rob
Westward.
Zombie. Like she has no care for her fucking person, her roommate that's sleeping 4 feet away while she's blasting music and having sex with her boyfriend, doing all this weird goth stuff that you know, as a kid, you're like, I don't know what that is.
How savage was it that the first time she walks in and she's having sex with her goth like guy boyfriend or whatever, you know, she ignores it and everything, and then the second time she's being murdered in the bed and she won't like turn around to
She thinks it's a normal thing they do.
Yeah, so she just puts her headphones on while the whole thing is happening. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Such a bad movie.
Oh my God.
Also,
So,
such a good movie.
So, random aside, did you guys notice who Professor Wexler was in Urban Legend?
Yeah, Robert Englund.
Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably a cameo
Krueger.
they did. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yep.
I just saw that. I
Not
thought
to
it was
mention,
interesting.
the movie has their own Stu Macher in it. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sure you can pull it up. But the guy in the beginning where they're doing like the lecture and it's like, yeah, you know about urban legends, right? Like if you drink a soda while you eat Pop Rocks, it'll make you die. That guy, he's essentially Stu Macher.
Dude, he's the guy from Fringe. I wish I could remember what his name is.
Joshua
Fucking love
Jackson.
Fringe.
I can't.
Maybe.
All right, guys, I got one last thing I'd like to talk about before we wrap up this episode. And okay, so here's what I think. I know earlier we talked about Gail, whether she was going to die in this movie or not. The more I think about it, the more I think she is going to die in this movie. But there's also something that happens, something about this movie, something about the sixth movie that's going to lead into the seventh. And I want to get y'all's opinion on this. I think something in Sam is going to snap. And they're going to make one more. They're going to make a seventh. Dewey died. Gail died. In the last movie, to bring it full circle, Sidney is going to die at the hands of the daughter of Billy Loomis, and Sam is going to be the final killer.
Damn.
What do you guys think?
Now,
That would be really interesting.
now, why do you think she snaps though?
Well,
Because I know that she's like hearing Billy and stuff at the end of What was that?
Well, I mean,
There was
she also
five,
she
yeah.
also sees him too,
Yeah.
not just hearing.
Well,
Yeah. True.
full disclosure to listeners, we were recording the ending of this later than something happened and we got screwed up. So I actually got it because earlier in this episode we talked about how I hadn't seen 5 yet, and in the distance from when we first recorded to where we're recording the end, I was able to watch the 5th movie. It's how I know Sam.
God's divine judgment said Rob cannot end this episode without seeing the last movie.
So
That's correct.
Where the fuck was I going with this? But I did get to see the 5th movie, so but yeah, she's seeing him, she's taking antipsychotics, she's hearing him. So I just think something about this movie is going to cause her to snap. Something is going to happen in the 6th movie that's going to cause her to snap, which leads into number 7, which leads into the death of Sydney.
Can I add on to that?
Please.
I think that's a super interesting theory. I really do. I don't know if they would officially, unless they're going to never do this series ever again, like Scream anything again, I don't know that they kill Neve off if they're going to continue it.
Yeah.
Possible. I know the reason she's not in 6 is because of contractual issues with Paramount and them not wanting to pay her a respectable amount of money for her to do a movie.
Yeah.
And she also had issues with, so did Courtney Cox, but they had issues with them killing off Dewey in the previous movie.
Yeah.
That being said, I could see that scenario playing out where Sam comes and kills Neve and does turn into one of the Ghostface. But I could also see, because Jenna Ortega is for some reason blowing up out of nowhere right now, I could also see that Jenna Ortega has to kill Sam in the end, and that's how the entire franchise ends.
That's not a bad point.
We're what's her name again? Jenna Ortega's character?
I can't
Tara,
remember what
right?
it is off the top. Tara.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tara becomes the final girl.
Yeah, she's the final. And I mean, that's Jenna Ortega is all
Where
the talk
she
right now.
sees
She
what
did
happens,
yeah.
and then it's just like she has to. Because
Yeah,
it's
she has
what
to.
Sam, her sister, the sister she knows, would want.
Yeah, think about how she freaked out in 5.
Yeah.
Think about how she freaked out when she found out that her sister is a descendant of Billy Loomis and that they had different fathers and everything, and that she pretty much abandoned Tara. Sam did,
Yeah.
and was like, you just don't understand why, and I always wanted to tell you but I couldn't, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I found your journal. Mom had an affair on Dad.
Yeah.
You're Billy Loomis's kid. You're a fucking psycho, essentially. That's kind of how they portrayed it, at least. But it's also like, it was still in the middle of the movie where anybody's Ghostface at this point, because they always try to do that. Like, so everybody can be Ghostface. They always try to have every character be that, like, weird, out of the blue, like, shady out of nowhere.
But it's always the boyfriend.
It's almost always the boyfriend.
Dewey called it.
Or
That
yeah.
was such a good moment in that movie, man. When they sit down
Tim.
in the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
the
good.
boyfriend.
It's
How
great.
long have you known him?
How long have you known
Yeah.
him? Oh, you guys got together recently? Interesting.
Yeah. Tim.
Yeah.
Just
But
go
no,
ahead and stab him
I
right
could
now.
definitely, I could see it, because Jenna Ortega, like, as an actress, is just blowing up. She did Scream 5, where she was a main, integral point of that movie, and she's actually the first intro of a movie where the girl doesn't get killed.
That's true.
She's the only one that
yeah.
to intro the movie does not get killed. She gets badly injured, and she's in the hospital, like, 60% of the movie.
Yeah.
But she doesn't actually die, and she's the only one that survives the intro scene ever.
Is there like a big brain move I'm missing here though? Like, why would it end up being her that becomes the last girl for this trilogy?
The
this
final
new-
girl?
The final girl, last girl.
Right.
Yeah,
The only way that I could see it happening is if her older sister fucking, has a crazy breakdown, like we discussed, becomes Ghostface, sees her kill Sydney, and then does what she has to do. As story-wise, as far as why she, like Tara as a character, would get it, is because Jenna Ortega is all the rage right now.
Yeah.
Doing Scream
So-
5, doing Wednesday, multiple seasons now confirmed. Like she's blowing up as a person. I
Just
don't
a
see them. Yeah, I think so. Because I don't think that they would. Why would they kill her off when she's probably realistically in Scream 6, besides like Hayden Panettiere, like the most important character in that, like as far as like fame right now, besides Courtney Cox, who, I mean, legendary fame, did Friends, has been in the Scream series the entire time, integral to it. But like, let's be real, if Courtney Cox weren't in this movie, I wouldn't care. Neve Campbell being out of this movie, I cared about because I was like, it's not fucking Scream then, you know? If she's not being chased by a ghost face, how's it Scream, you know? But that's, I guess that's the part of me that is a very, and I'm not that old, but I'm an old head when it comes to this series and franchise, that I'm like, this movie, like, I don't care about Courtney Cox. Killing Dewey off was the biggest fucking mistake.
Agreed. But
you have to have Sydney. That's the whole point of, like, Woodsboro. That's the whole point of the killings. Billy Loomis being tied back into the story with his daughter, and then now Paramount's going to be bitches and be like, hey, we're not going to pay Neve enough, so she's not going to do this movie. It's like, come on. So, like, if we're talking about, like, let's say a top whatever list, top 5 list of important actors right now that could have been in Scream 6, you got to imagine Neve Campbell's number 1, because that's, she is the girl for Scream. Outside of that, I mean, really, it's Jenna Ortega, and then maybe a close tie with that would be, Hayden Panettiere coming back. But that's about it. It's not like they have some, amazing famous actors in those movies right now. So that's just my thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. The only thing I could see counting against that at all is just I've never seen anything happen in these movies that isn't a commentary on something else. Like taking something that's already established and saying, like, isn't that fucked up how that happens? Or, you know how they always do this? What if we did it differently? And I'm not quite putting the pieces together, but that does sound good,
Yeah, well, I think all rules are off, you know what I mean, from Scream 4. Because we had the original trilogy. Then we had what was supposed to be the reboot of 4, 5, and 6 were supposed to be its own trilogy. And then they did Scream 4 is probably, and I will say this, and I think me and Dustin, we've all talked about this, but Scream 4 is the best standalone movie.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, like as far as
Wasn't
like how
that the
well
one
they
with her
did
cousin?
it. Yes,
Yeah.
with Emma Roberts. Yep, it was a great standalone movie. You couldn't watch Scream 3 or Scream 2 by itself. You really can't, because it's a part of a legit story. If you went to and saw Scream 3 first, you're ruining the entire like lead up into the story. It would make zero sense. But Scream 4, you could go and watch and be like, okay, you already know that there's a girl that's been terrorized her entire life, pretty much with this Ghostface stuff, whatever. And then now it's her cousin, and they bring family and stuff into it more. And then her cousin wants to be her and be famous. That hits very true. But at the same time, they break all the rules. They try to do things differently in that movie, and then Harvey Weinstein happens.
Jesus.
And then that
Yeah.
I mean, that's realistic.
I wasn't
though.
thinking about it. It is Miramax,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it? Yeah.
it. Yep, Dimension Films, Miramax. It's under. I mean, Harvey Weinstein had a lot to do with it. That happens because that movie came out. 4 came out in 11 or something like that, and then they don't release another one, number 5, until a decade later.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more than a decade actually, but
It came out last year,
You know-
didn't it? 2022 or 2021?
yeah, it came out early
2022.
2022. So yeah, you're talking about almost 11 years
Yeah.
to wait on a movie. Understandably, I'm sure a lot of things stop at that studio when allegations and stuff come up. But 4, 5, and 6 are supposed to be a trilogy. This is, it's supposed to be 5, 6, and 7 now. I think, honestly, they're gone with the old idea of what a slasher movie is supposed to be, or doing commentary on something around, what the point is supposed to be now or relevant to now. I think they're just kind of like spitballing it now and like, let's just do things that no one else would think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, but this is all theory. This is all us bullshitting, and we don't know what's going to happen. It would just be a cool idea if they did something like that. And at the end of the day, we can sit here and say this would be cool, but then we could also watch it on screen, be not executed properly, and then we'd be like, this movie fucking sucks. So it's just
Yeah.
you
We
know
butchered the series.
Yeah.
Ruined the whole thing.
ruined the whole thing.
Don't they know
It
how
was
they're
the
supposed
third.
to
It
go?
was the. It was.
Let's
it
make
was
our own
the
movie.
last. It was the last Jedi of the series.
Oh shit. Oh, foreshadowing.
Oh, that was harsh.
Dude, it could be. This is the middle movie for the next trilogy, so here we are.
Okay. Yeah.
I got nothing
So-
else. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
think I'm good.
I think we went over a lot of stuff. What about you, James?
I was gonna say, man, we said this at the beginning of this episode that I was gonna be the Dustin of this episode. Like, I've only seen one movie, so
Everybody
You know what's
talking
But hold
shit.
on. But here's the worst part. Dustin didn't have time to prepare himself. We just kind of threw him into the Harry Potter thing. You had time to watch these movies. Then the ending of this podcast gets delayed by like 2 weeks, where you had the flu. Granted, you weren't feeling well either. It wasn't his. By
But
the way,
you were laying down doing
hold on,
nothing.
hold
You
on,
had plenty
hold
of
on.
it was
This
a
is-
dark.
hold on,
I
hold on,
listened to
real
the
quick.
Harry Potter books.
Real
I'm
quick.
not even gonna lie.
Yeah, real quick. Disclaimer: this was not delayed because he was up with the flu. It was a technical error and then our schedules are crazy.
Yeah.
But you were on a couch, and you could have put these movies on, and you had like another 2 weeks just to barely watch movies.
For shame.
Yeah,
For shame, sir.
You're not the Dustin. You're the Jamie of this podcast.
Oh no!
oh,
You had the opportunity, and you still didn't.
you know what? I quit this. I'm out.
Oh my god! But
Oh
no, I
my
think
God.
we went over a lot. We discussed a bit, and although while our mics and everything may be a little bit louder for this end segment, I think it's a great way to
Yeah.
kind of bring it all in and leave it as is. I think we discussed probably the most important topics. There might be some new stuff for the listeners. Like, I don't know that anywhere else. I mean, I literally came to the guys with my theory of the urban legend crossover, because that's something I've been thinking about since I was a kid and watched both movies and was like, whoa, this
I
would be
fucking
cool.
love that theory.
I hope somewhere, I literally want to message like Kevin Williamson and just be like, hey man, just like get with the director or writers from Urban Legend and just y'all two come out and say this is true, because that
At the
would be
very least,
dope.
Between me and you.
Just between me and you.
Yeah,
you let me
is
you let me
is
know,
this
baby.
real?
Yeah.
It like just tell me.
Dude, it
Yeah.
adds up so well. It
It does.
really does.
Yeah.
But
But hey, if you got ideas for fan theories for whatever movies we've done so far, or if you have ideas or topics that you think we should be discussing, you can go to facebook.com/The Centerway Society. Give us a like, give us a follow. Let us know how we're doing. If you have any ideas, or if you think we're all dumb, which honestly,
Let us
I
know.
don't care.
let us know.
What you should do is, if you think we're dumb, share it with your friends and get their opinion too.
Yes.
And then
Yep.
you can like, comment, and subscribe, and then like unlike it or something.
Ring that bell.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a lot of traction there.
Yeah, just let us know. Look, comments are great, and the only way we get better is if you guys come in and tell us we're dumb. That way we can market the show
And
better.
I mean,
Yeah, and
So
share it with
the
your
dumber
friends.
the
Dumb
dumber we
guys
are with your
talking-
friends.
punch the crap
You
out
have
of the
to be kinda
notification
dumb.
thing, man.
Look. This,
Hear about
this
our
was
other
a-
dumb ideas next week.
Yeah, this was an idea that came from my brain, and I am not the brightest crayon in the box, so it has to be a pretty goddamn dumb idea for me to want to do it.
I'm about
Okay,
a
and I could.
mouth.
I had
and
a
the
really
only other
dumb
people I
idea
could
for this
think-
one, actually.
The only other people I think that could be as dumb as me, I brought into the show. So like, here we are, guys.
Yes.
I had the dumbest one of them all, though.
Then I don't want to hear it.
No, this one's
Dude,
great.
keys unlock doors.
This one's great though. This was great. So like at the end of the first movie, right? Stu gets his head knocked, like hit with the TV. Homeboy's in a
He becomes
coma,
Electro?
huh? No.
He becomes Electro?
No, Homeboy is in a coma, and that's how the two Scooby Doo movies happen.
Oh, you think that's actually hilarious? Do you think that he gets knocked into the TV, head through it? He's fucking out of his mind,
becomes
then
Shaggy.
somehow now, Stu Macher from the Scream series just transforms into Shaggy.
Exactly.
Sure, let's go with that.
Or at the end of the movie, Stu is almost about to die, and then a hat shows up, and then the butcher knife of Billy Loomis comes to him in the time of need.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's we could keep going on with these bullshit theories on some of these.
I'm
We
done for
really
the
have
day.
to read. Sometimes it's better to jump out of the rabbit hole, guys. So without further ado, we have had so much fun doing this last episode for Scream. It's a series that I love, near and dear to my heart, as these guys die laughing in the background. Like and follow us. We're on Facebook at Centerway Society, and we'll be back with some more. So stay tuned. Dustin, James, Rob, thank you guys for making my dream come true with this episode.
We're out.
See you.
Yeah, we can get a little bit of bullshit in here first.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
man.
the gag reel at the end of the episode, which I've been doing
man.
for each episode now. I don't know why, but
I also want to go over Urban Legend at some point
Dude,
because
Urban
that was
Legend
my
so
first
good.
experience watching that. Those
guys are gonna
those
make me
kids
watch these things.
are garbage.
Oh, they suck.
Garbage.
They suck. The goth girl that was her roommate or whatever,
Yeah.
when she died, I cheered.
Don't worry, Rob. I'm not a big horror movie
Rob,
guy either. So.
Rob, you look. Urban Legend, first off, was it was supposed to be like a competitor of Scream, but it failed. Critics hated it, although it did fine, like financially.
movie?
Urban Legend.
Urban Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But every character in it deserves to die.
Dude, within the first 5 minutes, you have this chick show up. She almost like runs
the
somebody
gas
off the
station?
road because she's trying to find music. She sings awful and then calls the guy. Okay, she pulls up at the gas station, honks the horn within like 5 seconds of arriving, calls him a freak, and then attacks him when he tries to save her. It's like you
So,
deserve
well,
to
hold on,
die
hold
at
on,
that
hold on,
point.
hold on. There is context, though. It was super dark and raining. It was like the only gas station, the only like civilization thing around for a bit. And then he pumps her gas for her. She goes to pay with the credit card, and he sees the person in the back seat of her car that she doesn't realize is there. But
Yeah, but she's totally profiling him.
yeah, hold on. But he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, your credit card's not working. You're you know, the company's on the phone." Gets her to come inside. Now the inside scene where there's fucking nobody on the phone and it's just like a dead line. I understand why she freaked out there, but she literally she like gets freaked out. She runs out of the store. He's chasing after her. Doesn't she also like hit him too?
Yeah, she hits
she-
him and then
she hits
busts
him, he
his window
falls.
and
Yep,
jumps out.
Yep, and then
Like-
and then jumps in the car, goes. Doesn't pay for the gas, by the way. I don't know if you caught that or not. The gas never gets paid
Oh,
for.
Yeah,
And
never,
then
yeah,
as
never paid for
she's driving away, he's like, and like he has a stutter, so he's like, there's someone in the back.
No,
And then she's axed to death.
I really like I get what you're saying. But think about it from this dude's perspective. He literally he's in his like not house, but inside the store. It's raining. He comes out and poor guy has a stutter and she's like making fun of him for his fucking
she
stutter.
did make
Like
fun
what
of
a
him immediately.
what a bitch. First off, right? And then he's like, "Oh my god, somebody's trying to kill her. Like, what do I do?" Like, and he can't get a word out, and he's like,
He's
okay,
like,
I'll get her inside the yeah.
Yeah.
And then she busts his fucking window out, like when he tries to talk to her, and yeah.
Could you imagine
Jesus.
being that poor? Like, I wish they would have like done the scene where he's explaining what happened and why she's dead. Like, I tried to save her. She bust my window, didn't pay for the gas, and then she hit me and then drove off.
Dude? It was Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh God, I love that movie.
Yeah, but it was that. It just in that opening scene, she
Yep.
killed herself. Like
Yeah.
honestly.
By the way, so have you guys ever seen Scary Movie 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the
Not in a
scene
long
where
time.
she's in the car driving and singing, that's the part like that they mimic and make fun of in Scary Movie 2, where the fucking girl on the radio is like, "Can you shut up and let me sing the song?"
Oh God, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. But no, how good was Urban Legend though?
Never saw it.
It was good in a meme way. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
oh, it's a meme movie, 100%.
Hermione goes from we could get expelled to being you screwing my friends. I'm gonna, you know. I don't care what
isn't
happens.
Harry also kind of like a dick too? Like in the books, from what I'm understanding.
Harry's a teenage
He's an
boy.
asshole.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Guys, we really need to
Okay.
start recording.
I'm sorry. I've been sitting on this for a few days, and I was like, oh man.
We're already 12 minutes deep into recording.
Yeah.
We've covered nothing. And I gotta edit this shit. Right? So,
Continuation from last week.
anyways,
Yeah.
so if you guys are ready to go,
Yeah, can you put up the intro thing, please? At least that, so I can see what it is.
put up your face. How about that?
Rob, I asked you to do this like 8 minutes ago.
You know what, motherfucker?
Well, I need a timeout at the moment. I haven't really been paying too much attention. I gotta apologize because my wife's a freaking twat. She's in the other room laughing right now because she decided to prank me while we're doing this episode and send me a picture of her belly. And I said, "Why am I getting a picture of your belly?" Then she sent me a picture of a pregnancy test
Oh, my
positive.
God. That is dope.
I've been clipped for almost a year, guys. I don't want any more kids. So my brain's been going haywire, and then all of a sudden she peeks around the corner after I texted her, you know, a few facts that I remembered, and she's
You
giggling
sound
at
like you're
me.
about to cry.
Anxiety hit me like a motherfucker. So I just told her war is on.
So she's just messing with you.
Yes, during the
Because,
podcast.
dude,
Okay, I still wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, like when she started laughing, just like everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were angry.
I,
Look, I even threw
Potter
a theory
universe
to him
does something to
afterwards, and
you.
he still said no.
I know. He was mad. To be fair, you did set him up to be mad. Keys unlock doors.
Well,
doors,
I'm talking
prisons.
about the Sword of Gryffindor thing. But
oh yeah, that was dumb. I still think that's dumb.
I'm going to send him the video I got it from. But anyhow,
Okay.
are they,
Hold on. Let me see if I can find. We're taking a break and walking down a different path, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with us, as this will probably be on the gag reel. That's a center.
hold on. I can go
Hey guys,
from here.
I need a couple seconds.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Dustin, listen to this and tell me if you think it's plausible. Because the sword appears to a Gryffindor and a true Gryffindor in a time of need, or showing great courage.
Right. It like comes out of the hat or something, right? Like when he's fighting.
It just says
Basilisk?
appears.
So what are we
You'll
getting
see
at?
when Rob finds it.
Okay, I will read what. This is what James sent me. He said, I rewatched the Horcrux video. What if when Molly's brothers fought off all those Death Eaters and died a brave Gryffindor death, the sword appeared at some point, and that's how Voldemort got it, and then it disappeared again when he failed to kill Harry. It was 5 Death Eaters to the 2 of the Order. I mean, they wouldn't have been able to pull it out of the hat, but maybe.
All right, I'm back. I'm good.
Oh wait, hold on. You said when who was
He's-
fighting
So,
who?
Okay,
Molly
so
Weasley had 2 twin
Fabian-
brothers.
Fabian and Gideon Pruitt.
Yeah. That's where she got
They
the 2 F
were-
and G,
they-
Fred and George.
Yes. They were fighting Death Eaters and were killed. It is James'
Theory.
theory that the Sword of Gryffindor magically appeared and they died, and that's how Voldemort got the sword.
Doesn't this? Are you talking about like when they're trying to get Harry out at the beginning of what?
No,
what
this
is
is this is just
This is
just
beforehand,
lore
yeah.
At this point.
So remember,
This is just
remember I said when he was trying to make a Horcrux when he was going after Harry, he needed another magical artifact. And what artifact did he have? Because he wanted something from the 4 founders. So what's like
and I call James a dumbass.
in Gryffindor's like most thing was the Sword of Gryffindor. That's
Yeah.
his artifact. So that was my theory, and then I went back and watched it, and I was like, okay, this is why because I didn't explain it this way. Maybe if I explained it this way, it would make more sense. So
I mean, I'm just gonna go out and I have no fucking
so
clue.
it's 5-on-2, and this battle,
All right.
5 Death Eaters versus the
Yeah.
2 twins, Fabian and Gideon. They know they're outnumbered, but they're still fighting because they want to take down they're fighting for Dumbledore's army. First off, or the Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, but Dumbledore's
Same
army is the
shit
5th.
straight.
Oh, sorry.
Semantics. It's essentially the same thing. Keep going.
Yeah, but
It's
still a
Yep.
courageous fight, and they're Gryffindors. They're true Gryffindors.
And James
Okay.
Potter fought Voldemort without a wand. Why didn't it appear
Rob.
then?
I don't understand the
How do we know
series,
it
but why can't the sword show up? I don't understand.
Dumbass.
Dustin just wants to know.
You're just making me call you a
All right,
dumbass
all right,
even
stop,
more.
stop.
Why-
I
Stop,
personally
stop,
want to.
stop, stop.
I want to redo this whole
Hold
podcast
on.
where we sit around and James
Taking
says
over.
Harry Potter shit
Taking
and Rob
over,
gets
guys.
mad about it,
Taking over.
and I try and understand it. I would
Yeah,
love that.
Taking over real quick. Let's get off the Harry Potter stuff because Rob was in a good mood.
I love how frustrated he gets. I'm not even joking.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's fucking
definitely great, but let's get back to what we were doing, so we're in a good place.
Who's barking?
Goose Fraba Rob.
That was one of my dogs because they're assholes.
My dog doesn't bark.
Mine
Have
does, but
3
they're
and then
out.
have 2 that try to hurt one. Ludo gets the abuse. Come here, buddy. Lay down.
Oh, poor Ludo.
Well, the other 2 are 120 pounds and giants.
No,
so
alright.
he's like a little tiny guy.
Well, if Ludo wants to come stay with me, he can come stay with me.
He's chilling right now.
He can be a potato on
Go
your
lay down,
couch
buddy.
as well, right?
Go lay down.
Yeah, he could be hang out with Nemo.
Dude,
He's on the couch. He could have the other side of the couch.
he would.
They could be best friends.
He hates other dogs. Like he won't attack them, but like if they get in his space, he's just like, stop.
Where'd you get the name Nemo?
He has a gimpy leg.
Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
He was named Nemo when we adopted him, so we just kept
Oh.
the name.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get back on topic, guys.
Yeah, we wandered off down the trail.
Fucking as soon as I left the room and then you guys brought up Harry Potter, I was like, God damn it.
Where? What were we talking about again?
We were on. Did Randy fake his death?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
he didn't.
Okay,
No.
Next
Nope.
question.
not a thing. Let's
Wait,
go.
we've got really good at cybernetics. No, I'm just bullshitting at this point.
All
I
right.
don't know.
All right. Let's chill. We're gonna start up at 45:15.
Okay.